How do you top your love for your cat? With a cascade of decadent savory gravy over a mouth-watering mousse pâté. Fancy Feast gems. 2 gourmet pâtés in one convenient pack. Simply peel and plate to reveal a pyramid shape that makes eating delightful and pamper her with an experience as extraordinary as she is. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary with Fancy Feast gems.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac extra value meal for $8. That means 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle.
Prices and participation may vary.
This podcast is supported by FX's English Teacher. Last year's critically acclaimed series returns to follow Evan, Gwen, and Marky as they vie for their students' divided attention. See why Cosmopolitan called its premiere season a masterclass of comedy, while Glamour raved it's the year's funniest and most heartwarming new comedy series. FX's English Teacher, all new Thursdays on FX. All episodes now streaming on Hulu.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
I watch all of y'all, and it's just for the sheer creativity. Like, I'm actually realizing that I've basically been performing recipes for my whole life. The fact that you guys can go into a situation with a ticking time bomb, no thought whatsoever before an ingredient was basically just presented to you, and you're told go. Like, I can't even get, like, there's a part of me that still doesn't believe the show's real.
I think some of us are surprised as well, honestly. I think some of us looking back at it now, it's pretty incredible, the kind of creativity that everybody has. It's like you go into, fight or flight. So it's either you run or you stick to your guns and you cook your ass off. And you try and do your absolute best every single time. Because that's why you're here. Because you give up so much to be there, honestly. You have to make it worthwhile.
This episode of Pack Your Knives is dedicated to the memory of Fatima Ali.
Yeah, this was a tough one. We just recorded our episode, and then as I'm signing off, Kevin, Bruce Kallman posted on Instagram that it's with a heavy heart we say goodbye to Fatima Ali today, as she has lost her battle with cancer. I will miss you, Fati, and you will be in my heart forever. I'll always remember the great times we had, especially our interview during the tailgating episode discussing football, stadiums, and Taylor Swift. Much love, Bruce. Hashtag it's not fair. Hashtag friends. Hashtag family. This was tough. She came on our podcast last year, and the sense of humor, the grace, the talent. She was the fan favorite from last year. And I couldn't agree more. She was the most delightful guest we had last year. We probably spent more times talking about Fatima last season than anybody on the show. And, this is a tough one.
She had uncommon poise and pride, and just a really generous spirit. We will miss her very much.
So, all right, with a heavy heart, this is our podcast recap of the Houseboat Challenge. But thinking about you, Fati, and the rest of the Top Chef family, Yeah.
It's Pack Your Knives. I'm Kevin Arnovitz.
And I'm Tom Haberstroh.
Tom, are you a Soiree guy or a Kegger guy?
Oh, you know the answer to that, Kevin. I don't even have to say it. I'm a Kegger guy. And oh man, I can't wait to discuss this episode with you because Eddie could not have drafted a worse team for the challenge.
All right, well let's first introduce the episode to our listeners. We presume that if you're listening to this and you haven't watched the show, you have a mental defect, because who would watch this show other than people who love Top Chef? But let's just quickly go over what happened. We're down to 9, and there is no quick fire, which is unfortunate. You know, I like my quick fires, Tom. I don't like when quick fires split or split out from the show. I bring quick fire back. Be true to quick fire, Top Chef. Quick fires are awesome.
Yeah, but if it means that we don't get to see 6'7" Brian in full shoes in a hot tub in 100-degree heat cooking porchetta or serving porchetta, I don't want a quick fire because that was a delight. Anyway, Go ahead.
So it's going to be a 5-on-4 throw a houseboat party on Lake Cumberland party or elimination challenge. That's the challenge. There's going to be a team of 5 and a team of 4. Each has to serve 100 people who are going to go back and forth. It's actually a popular vote. This is not, judges will not determine the winning team and the losing team. In classic Top Chef form, the winning team is immune, and the losing team gets marched up before the judges' table, and one chef will go home. And as you mentioned, Eddie, having won the previous challenge, gets the quote privilege of picking whether A, he wants a 5-person team or 4-person team. In consideration of space or number of hands or whatever the case may be, and who is on that team. And when presented with this privilege, Eddie was suitably just distraught by having to choose his team.
Completely scrambled.
Right. Either because he didn't want to hurt feelings, either because he's just not a terribly decisive person, didn't want to have to make value judgments against people he's grown to like. Tom, I thought of you because and he basically seemed to do it almost at random. It almost appeared as if he took the 4 people who were in closest proximity to him physically at the time. But let me ask you a question, Tom, as the official scorekeeper. What had Eddie decided, I'm going to have a 5-person team and I'm going to pick the 4 fellow contestants with, at the time, the highest Pack Your Knives point total? Who would he have taken?
Ooh, that is a good question, Kevin. Well, first, while I dig that up for you, I want to hear your thoughts on the 4 versus 5, and I want to hear whether you actually... I kind of thought this when he got charged with this responsibility of having not just how many people, but who he was going to pick. I almost could feel you squirming in your seat watching that would be a tough thing for you, Kevin. In your alter ego of Eddie Conrad.
I am Eddie.
You are Eddie. Were you squirming in your seat when Padma said, "Hey, as part of your prize, your reward, Kevin, you get to choose your team and how many you have on your team"?
Well, let me ask you a question as a married straight man. Like, one thing that's always been, I'm not probably getting married. I'm against gay marriage and straight marriage, but I just don't like the institution. But let me ask you a question. One of the things that would stress me out is having to pick my groomsmen, right? Because what you're essentially doing is ranking your friends, right? And there's a bubble, and I can't imagine it's not like assembling any group or whatever. Like, if you get 5, maybe you got a couple brothers, which you do, but you got to pick 2 or 3 other guys. Then you got like kind of like the NIT is ushers, right? Like, that's sort of, if you don't get into the big dance, you get an usher honor. But like, one of the things that stressed me, I couldn't do that. Like, by sheer fact of not knowing how to rank friends, not wanting to hurt feelings. I've always been amazed that women and men in weddings are able to somehow do it without offending, or like, I just couldn't do it.
I'm dealing with this right now. Not that I'm getting remarried, Kevin.
You're getting remarried?
No,
again?
I'm not. But hey, if I was, would you come out for the wedding? We do it again at the Brown Hotel if you want.
I mean, look, who am I to judge other people's cultures and religious doctrines? If you're a polygamist, that's cool, fine.
Well, I'm gonna. My best friend growing up is getting married, and he awarded me with the privilege of being the co-best man along with his brother. It's funny how these things it just kind of it mutates this tradition. You know, you got a best man, but also co-best man. So I am in charge with running the bachelor party. And also like when it is, where it is, and so there's not just there's not just the groomsmen thing, but there's a lot of like, you know, planning.
The reason I'm laughing, Tom, is do you know how many of those I have planned? Like, I'm the guy you call to plan the trip. You don't want me as a groomsman, and you don't want me as an usher, but you want me to kind of figure out hotels and flights and kind of design a weekend and meals and everything else. Like, literally, I have planned, I think, 4 bachelor parties in my kind of 20-some-odd years as a friend to people getting married.
Well, then you are now me. Instead of Eddie, you are now me. You were going to plan this bachelor party, but I digress because this is it's a tough thing because now what happens with weddings is that you have a reciprocity rule, which is if this guy invited me into my groomsmen, I have to invite him. But even if it's like 10 years ago, you're at a different place in your life.
Wait, there's no statute of limitations?
There is, but it's a very unwritten, blurry line of like, hey, I know you were my best man, or I was your best man like 15 years ago, but like, you know what? I don't need to do that. So anyway, I felt like Eddie doing this draft was like David Kahn of drafting. He just seemed to look around and be like,
Johnny Flynn?
Who's Johnny Flynn out there? Let's pass on Steph Curry. So this is a really amazing job because I think Magical Elves, the production team, the editing team, did a phenomenal job of capturing how nerdy, how non-fratty, how non-party people this blue team was. Because Eddie goes with...
Hey, those are my people, Tom.
I know,
Be careful.
And this is what's amazing about this episode is I felt so much just gravitating towards the green team. I might have just grabbed a green shirt from my closet while watching this episode because I was team green. And I knew that as soon as he said first pick Adrian, I was like, this is a house party boat. You're picking Adrian as your number 1 pick? Michelle as his number 2 pick?
Man, Adrian could be like Ms. Lampshade for all you know. But all right, so I want to go back to my question real quick.
Right.
So had he chosen of the other 8 contestants at that current moment, who were the top 4 point earners?
I was getting there, Kevin, because as much as I make fun of Eddie for drafting Adrian, she actually was the leading point
there. So there you go.
So he actually decided I have this innate. I'm seeing into the future. I know how Kevin and Tom's scoring system is going to be for Pack Your Knives, and I'm going to draft the number 1 person, Adrian, on the board with 20 points. She is the leading point person in this competition. And then number 2 is Eric. He did not choose Eric. Then David, and then Brian. He picked Dave and Brian in that order. He also drafted Michelle. So he actually, in terms of performance and in terms of the point totals that we have through the competition at that point, he actually did pretty good.
So that's interesting. Brian was up there because I feel like he's been on the bottom a lot.
Brian won a challenge. The fact is he won a challenge, so he gets 10 points for that, and he was also in the top 3 for the second episode. I forget.
Remind me, what is the penalty for being in the bottom of the judges table? But
there is no. You do not get any points. You do not. If you move on in the competition, you get a +2. If you get in the bottom, which he's been in the bottom 3 times, Brian has, then he got booted. So I think
no. That's not my question. My question about our point system is: are you telling me on a regular 10-person episode, top 3, bottom 3, middle 6, that the middle 6 get the same amount as the bottom?
No.
2 that don't go home?
No, the middle 6 get 2 points.
For
moving on in the competition, for surviving, you get 2 points, and if you're in the bottom, you get no points.
So even if you move on, even if you're not the ultimate like executee.
Correct. You're in the
Okay,
bottom
okay,
three.
good,
You get 0. The XQT, the guillotine recipient, gets a -5, which Brian did in this episode. He did get the -5. We will get there, but the point is, he says, "I'm just saying names." Eddie does, and it turns out that they're planning this party boat, and they're just discussing how do you party? What does it look like? What does a party look like? And someone's Michelle goes, "Tiki bar idea," and Brian goes, "Oh, so fun." Just deadpanning. It was amazing. And then in the car, Brian's, talking it out with Michelle and going, "So, it's a party. What are we going to do for fun?"
Trivia! And you know what? That's fun. I love trivia. I don't know why you're laughing. That would have been really fun. Trivia.
Trivia
By the
on
way,
Lake Cumberland with Jello
Yes!
shots? Yes. Okay.
Where is there never? Trivia's fun anywhere.
Yes. But it's not like a party.
I mean, I don't know. So I hated this. I didn't hate the episode. I thought they did a lovely job. I hated this challenge because I'm sorry. I think fun is stupid. I
loved it.
I don't. What's wrong with not being? I like to have fun. For me, fun is getting baked and going eat soup dumplings. That's fun.
Yes,
and stopping by
like
Roman's
being
bookstore
in
in Pasadena.
100-degree heat in a. You know what? I'll share the listeners.
And by the way, that jiggle juice was the most the most repulsive thing I've ever seen.
My God.
You can have your jiggle juice. I wouldn't give that to my whatever. My rabbit. I don't even own a rabbit. I wouldn't give it to my rabbit.
Kevin, I'll never forget taking you back to 2011. Or let's go back to 2010. We're hanging out in Miami. I just moved there with my then girlfriend, now wife. And we get All-Star break off. We get the All-Star break is this little vacation in the middle of the season. At that point, Kevin, it was still one weekend. I believe it was just a weekend. It wasn't the full week, the All-Star break. And I was planning on what I was going to do for that 2 days off that we had. Being in South Beach, we decided, Kevin, to go. Do you remember what we did on that weekend?
Well, I thought I went to Los Angeles. That was where the All-Star game was, and I got to go home.
You might, yes, but I don't think I got. I wasn't on the list for that, for traveling for that. I think I got the weekend off, and you went home. Do you remember what I did with Allison?
I don't know. What did you do with Allison?
We did something to which you responded, "That sounds like my own personal hell."
Did you go to Disney World?
No, we went on a cruise ship.
Oh, God, you did? Why?
Because we're in South Beach, we're in Miami. You drive across the 195, all the MacArthur Causeway there in Miami. You're always passing by all these fancy cruise ships, these gigantic cruise ships as you're driving along the MacArthur. And it was like, you know what? We don't have too much money. We can't go on a trip somewhere. But what if we did a trip where you get to hang out instead of flying somewhere? You could go on a cruise and go.
Did the cruise ship go anywhere, or did you just go?
It went to Cozumel. It stopped a night in Key West, then Cozumel, and then we were back in 2 days. So it was a quick trip to Mexico on a cruise ship. And I just remember we were at two different points in our lives. You were living in downtown Miami. You're going back to LA, and you were just like, "That sounds awful." And so this episode, Kevin, was your awful. It was your personal.
Oh my
you're
God.
on a houseboat in Kentucky on
and
a lake.
let me tell you something. I know those Eisenhower era lakes that they have across the interior South because I grew up in North
TVA
Georgia.
Dam.
I
Yes,
had Lake
yes.
Lanier. I mean, I know all about those houseboat situations. That is not fun. That is torture. I was hoping for trivia and kind of Eddie just an Eddie meltdown like that. That's fun for me.
In college, you would not believe it, but our fraternity went on a mountain weekend to Tennessee, Fontana Dam. It's just this big lake, filled in, man-made lake in the mountains, in the Tennessee mountains, and we were on a pontoon boat for 5 hours in the fall of North Carolina or Tennessee, and it was delightful.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do Santorini on a yacht or something, but I don't know. Man.
I'll do Santorini on a yacht.
But in those Eisenhower post-war man-made lakes, Cumberland is man-made. I'm certain of it, right?
Pretty sure of it. I have to look that up. But
I mean, man, that is just some bleak fun.
You don't think you would want to hang out with Sarah on a houseboat party? That's your girl.
Yeah, it's not my venue. Not my venue. But I do like to have fun. I like to have fun.
Different kinds of fun. Yes, I'll do both. I'll do the houseboat thing. I'll be team blue. I'll be team blue whenever, and I'll also be team green. That's my thing.
It's the introverts versus the extroverts. It's cool.
So the team blue goes with basically a default party idea, which is let's just get some tiki torches and just throw them up there, and hopefully that'll be a party theme. And the green team, they've got it all figured out. Kelsey, she goes. Like, Kelsey is the team party planner. She is. That's her job.
Again, remember I said she should have been in front of the house?
Yes.
Like because if I'm drafting, if I'm Eddie, I'm drafting Kelsey. Forgetting the fact that she'll make the best. Maybe she makes the best dish. Maybe she doesn't. She ended up doing it. Like, I know that I have a fun deficit, so I'm going to get the fun person.
And do you think Eddie just from equality standpoint was like, I don't want to pick people, so I'm just going to pick the people who are closest to me so I don't burn any bridges or anything like that?
That's exactly what he did.
Because I feel like this was just, of all the people to choose, it feels like Kelsey, Sarah, Eric, Justin for doing a party. Those are the 4 people. Those, if you could rank them, I feel like those are the 4 people that you get. Brian at one point says, like this is how much Brian parties, like on a houseboat. He says, take a look at my legs. This is the only time you'll ever see my legs again. The guy doesn't wear shorts. He's never brought out shorts before.
I don't traditionally wear shorts either, but that's
Kevin, we've gone kayaking in South Beach before.
That's true. I have, yes.
I've seen you in shorts, and Brian wore shoes in a hot tub. Think of how out of place that is, that Brian wore. I'm imagining what is the worst possible situation to be in the 100-degree summer heat in Kentucky.
All right.
Serving a porchetta in shoes in a hot tub without a hat on sounds like awful.
All right, so tell me you are. Let's just say you're Eddie. You know the assignment, and then by the way, they say party. I don't think they realize. My sense is Eddie didn't realize the extent to which you would be judged on environment. Right? These are chefs. They're thinking,
yep.
Okay, who are the chefs I want? But knowing what you know now, or not even know what you know. Actually, don't. Let's try to not do that. Who would you have chosen at that moment in time if you're Eddie?
Well, I'm picking Sarah. Obviously, is my number one pick there because she is not only Kentuckian. She's done the houseboat thing and she likes to party. It's not like she's Adrian, who doesn't seem like she has ever had a Jello shot in her life. Sarah said on this episode that she has done many, many house parties and basically takes her shirt off and hangs out. Like, that is the number one pick for me. Kelsey, Justin seems like super fun. And then Eric, I don't know if he's one of my top 3 picks on this episode, but I got to imagine the first 2 are Sarah and Kelsey, who, as you saw, just dominated this competition.
Yeah, I kind of would have gone a little different. I definitely would have gone Kelsey, just because, again, it requires logistics. It requires a certain sociality that she
yep.
has. That's an easy one for me. I worry about Sarah at that moment because she's not been cooking well, and I think at the end of the day, you still can't have too many. You can have now again, it seems like the participants didn't really care one way or the other, right? Like food. I mean, it turned out they did very good food as well, but it seemed as if they were truly being judged on vibe. But I would worry about Sarah a little bit just because she's having trouble cooking. The same reason I wouldn't have drafted Brian. Again, I don't have confidence in his food right now. But I would have gone. Now, I worry a little bit about Justin if I'm drafting because he can be volatile, small galley, a little hectic. Is he? Just a guy who in that situation can get a little backbiting just by his own admission, right? Like a guy who can get a little salty. So maybe I worry about that. I think I'm bringing David just because I know his food is good. And David seems like in the right group, he could have been fun guy. David's kind of fun guy, like you could have seen him on the fun team.
Ooh, tiki bar. So fun. Oh,
so
I love that.
Kelsey, David, I would have gone Eric just because, again, I mean, he's cooking his ass off. I mean, guy's just cooking his ass off, and he's fun, right? So I would have gone Kelsey, Eric, David, and, maybe I would have gone Justin, too.
Kevin, I'm picking exactly
Justin grew
green
up on the
team.
lakes. I think Justin grew up on the lakes in St. Paul. Apparently he has houseboat experience or party boat experience. So, yeah, I probably would have gone Kelsey, Justin, Eric, David. I love Michelle. I love her cooking, but it's not going to be a pasta challenge. And, she's a little more docile. That's who I'd rather be on a road trip with.
Yes, so it was almost to like you trade out Dave for Sarah essentially. Your pick. And by the way, another miscue for Eddie in drafting is that he went with 5 people instead of 4. I would have gone with 4 because if you're going to be on a houseboat, bing, 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 that should set the alarm bells off that you're going to be in a shoebox making that meal. So you want to go less people, not more. And then it kind of backfired again just by unfortunate circumstance that Adrian was battling the flu.
Well, also, I think another reason, not only lack of space, there's no added value. If everyone's responsible for a dish, it's not like, if anything, so not only do you not get any really added value, the extra hands. Number 2 is, I think at least our experience in watching the show is, it's not so much having a bad dish is worse than having a good dish is good.
Yes.
So, like, you give yourself 5 bullets in Russian roulette. Yep. It's an extra bullet.
Yep.
So,
it's an extra risk. You don't want that.
Yep. Exactly. So you're absolutely right for both. And because, again, it's not like, you're doing family style for 100 people. Okay, 5 people is great, right? You have an extra set of hands. You're not doing family style. Everyone's doing their own dish. So you have 5 more needs, 5 more body, 1 more body, 1 more potential bad dish. Space issues, infighting issues, all the rest of it. You're absolutely right. Adrian was correct when she said that you definitely go with 4, not 5. So I would have.
She was on that team.
So I would have been Eric, Kelsey. I would have been Eric, Kelsey, David.
Yeah. So it was tough. I mean, if you're given the clues, right? Houseboat, you can do 4 or 5. You get to pick your own team. I can't. It is hard to consider a worse outcome for Eddie's drafting. Is all I'm saying. And this is coming from someone who's admittedly terrible at drafting contestants in this own competition of Pack Your Knives Fantasy. I'm really bad at it. But Eddie was doing the fair thing. Was doing the most team friendly thing by just picking random people around him. But I think it was a costly decision for him.
Listener, listen up. This is important, okay? I'm going to try to save you some money here. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. You may think like, that's bad. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. Here's why I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for $15 a month. You heard that correctly. $15 per month. Ditch overpriced wireless and the jaw-dropping monthly bills. And of course, there are all these hidden fees and stuff, but at Mint Mobile, plans start at $15 per month. All the plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text. You're not doing like weekend and nighttime minutes or anything like that. And it's delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone. Don't have to get a new phone. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. I switched months ago. People have asked, did you actually switch? Yes, I actually switched months ago, and I don't know what to do with all this extra money. I've cheated the system here. I've rigged something. This is an Ocean's 11 situation where I'm stealing wireless from Mint. That's how good a deal it is. Ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/dings. That's DINGS. That's mintmobile.com/dings. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 per month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Hello, listener. It's producer Maze here to talk to you about Kindred. Now, close your eyes like Owen Wilson during a job interview and imagine a way to travel that feels personal, comfortable, and connected without the price tags and the sterile feelings of hotels or short-term rentals. Now open your eyes and stop using your imagination because Kindred has made it very real. That's exactly what they do. Kindred is a members-only home swapping network. It's not a hotel. It's not a short-term rental. It's a smarter way to travel where each stay feels like home. Here's how it works. With Kindred, your home is your ticket. You earn credits by hosting fellow Kindred members, and then you use those credits to stay in over 220,000 homes in more than 100 cities worldwide. There are no hotel costs or rental fees, just the credits that you've earned. Every stay comes with white glove service, 24/7 trip support, and $100,000 in host protection. Make it easier for you to travel and enjoy yourself and not worry about details. I've used Kindred and I found an amazing home for a weekend getaway in an idyllic location with amazing views and great ambiance. It had everything I needed. And the best part was, it cost me $0. So apply now at livekindred.com and use code DINGS to join for free. Plus, you'll earn 5 nights of travel credit just for signing up. That's right, that's 5 whole nights for free at livekindred, KINDRED.com, code DINGS, DINGS, livekindred.com, code DINGS. Hello, listener. It's Producer Maze here to talk to you about Quince and their cookware. Cooler nights mean cozy meals at home, and Quince's cookware has made fall cooking so much more enjoyable. Their pieces deliver the quality and performance of luxury brands, but at a price that makes sense. And they look gorgeous on the stovetop, too. No matter what item you need to complete your kitchen, Quince has you covered. With 5-ply stainless steel pots and pans, nonstick skillets, chef-quality knives, and even ceramic bakeware, which is perfect for cozy casseroles or Sunday roasts. And when you look at these prices, you might think, how is Quince doing this? How do they deliver high-quality items similar to high-end brands that are half the price? Well, let me tell you, they partner directly with ethical top-tier factories to cut out the middlemen and pass the savings on to you. And it's not just cookware. I got myself some bath sheets. That's right. When you're a tall man, you have to use bath sheets, not bath towels from Quince. It's like drying off with the cloud. It's incredible. Upgrade your kitchen for cozy fall meals with premium cookware from Quince. Go to quince.com/dings for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/dings, DINGS, to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dings.
This episode is brought to you by 20th Century Studios' new film, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, starring Golden Globe winner Jeremy Allen White and Academy Award nominee Jeremy Strong. Scott Cooper, the director of the Academy Award-winning movie Crazy Heart, brings you the story of the most pivotal chapter in the life of an icon. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Only in theaters October 24th. Get your tickets now.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
I mean, he literally could have gone better. Who were the January birthdays? Who were the February birthdays? Who were the March birthdays? I mean, that is essentially what he did.
Yes. So let's get into, I want to ask your opinion about when a team gets a curveball, like power going out. What goes through your head when you're talking about how fair that is, that one houseboat just loses power straight up? I feel like that's like, do you stop the competition and just try to level the playing field? Because that seems really unfair.
All right, well, the first question is, are you a houseboat truther?
Oh.
I mean, are they pulling that shit intentionally? I mean, are those guys down there working in that? Is that just total, like, snow job? Like
that's
those
actually
guys
the owner of the surf shop nearby. That's not even a plumber or whatever.
Those are SAG extras, literally. Okay, like
Eddie pops in. He's like, "Hey, how's it going over there? Look promising." Yeah. Why are you holding a tiki torch? I don't know. I'm just here.
You know, like they see them at the Nashville airport next week. You know, But so that's the question: is are you a truther? I'm a little bit of a truther on this one. I'm not normally a conspiracy theorist, but on matters of NBA and no, I'm not even an NBA conspiracist, but I just wonder. And then did they have to kind of make it up? They did a makeup call the next day with Eddie as he's making his fish, or not Eddie, rather Eric as he's making his fish. What happened there?
So I guess his deep fryer. It malfunctioned, or it wasn't getting hot enough, which is ridiculous in the 100-degree heat. But it wasn't working. But Eric, man, I was looking at trade possibilities right now, and I'm like, I don't know if Kevin would trade any of his people for any of my people, because Eric is just the fact that he got dealt
Eric's a boss.
He is a boss. He got dealt that blow where he had a deep fryer on the deck, and he could not get the things to fry, the walleye fish to fry. So what did he do? He went down into the kitchen and just fried it in the kitchen. And it's like, man, this guy is a juggernaut.
You know, it was interesting. We had been asking the question pursuant to Restaurant Wars about the timing of the judges coming to your meal and just how that affects scoring.
Mm-hmm.
We've been asking some of the contestants. Perfect example is Michelle does her fish and chips. Lagasse loves them, right? Her kind of potato chip encrusted bass. And why? Because he got a hot piece. You know, she's cooking for 100 people. By the time Tom gets there, it's a little off the heat. He's not into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, perfect example of, in a counterfactual, if like Tom hits, Michelle first, it's an entirely different ballgame. Now, again, the whole scoring is weird because they got those little coins or whatever the hell they're doing with the regular. I don't like when regular people judge. I'm not
you're an elitist.
I want Top Chef to be a republic, not a democracy. Okay, like I don't trust the unwashed mass.
Put that on a shirt.
I don't trust the masses. By the way, I said the same thing on the Jump last week. I want about all-star voting. I want the NBA to be a republic, not a democracy. But I don't like when regular people vote. That's what the founders wanted to prevent against. I don't trust regular people anymore.
So here's my thing.
I'm an elitist.
You know what? I just realized this was basically Party Wars. It really was. They had to design their own party with the vibe, the food, the scene, the ambiance, and that proved very difficult for the blue team. And the jiggle juice
revolting.
Padma had to spit it out because it was too boozy. Padma Lakshmi thought this was too boozy. I don't
think it was that it was too boozy. I think it's because someone decided to put like peach, mint tea, and fucking bourbon in the same container. I don't think it was the amount of alcohol.
Have you ever had a John Daly before? That is an Arnold Palmer with some booze in it.
I mean, I don't like sugary.
Do you like an old fashioned? That's. I mean, you like that. So
I'm kind of, these days it's more like Michter's couple drops of bitters be done. I'm out.
Yeah. Well, this was interesting to me because I think there was a little bit of a chess match going on here where even though Sarah knew that maybe the judges wouldn't like the jiggle juice, she knew the party goers would. Brilliant move by Sarah to just get everyone lit. And it was like, I love this place.
She's the real MVP. By the way, I would have just said, fuck it. Like, we're doing edibles on our boat. Team trivia, we got edibles. Like, that would have been...
Let's get in the galley and let's all hang out in the bedroom and throw some Bob Marley and do some some
again,
trivia.
By the way, how they left, not to go back and relitigate, but how they left that off the table as a challenge in Colorado in season 15 is beyond me.
I feel like it's a lost episode.
Just a lost opportunity.
What if there was what that would have been a great reveal, brother, from last week is if he was like, by the way, you guys did not see the cannabis episode that we had.
I mean, I'm just shocked that there was none. But anyway, you know what? Sarah with the plan. By the way, let's just go through the food real quick because, fundamentally they're getting off the damn boat next week and they'll be back to cooking food for for
Oh,
real
stop
judges.
it! Get off your high horse, Kevin.
I just don't like fun to be an equation.
Your ivory tower over here.
I am in the big ivory tower. Brian's porchetta, it gets him sent home. You kind of just saw it coming. And it was very interesting to watch the other chefs just kind of drag him while he wasn't around. Yeah. Like, I felt terrible because
Bad
you know
idea.
that. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing. You know that Brian cooks one hell of a porchetta. You just know that all things, if he's not cooking 100-degree heat or in his wet shoes or whatever the hell he was trying to do there, you just know that guy makes one hell of a porchetta. So it was very sad to see him on a week where he wanted to show, coming off of the ribeye disaster, that he knows how to cook meat. He goes home with sort of a honey porchetta with papaya peanut. Tom actually, liked the accompaniments there, but it was very interesting. It was very strange because he and David were probably the two people most likely to go home. David did seafood dumplings with the black bass, caramelized onion, and spiced coconut broth, but did it in kind of a plastic cup. And the judges, while liked the taste, decided that it was bad for the party. So it was one of those two people on the judges' chopping block, one there for execution, the other there for context. Right? Like David missed context, Brian missed execution. Execution almost always goes home.
Kevin, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we know the difference in terms of the technical difference between?
I know what you're going to ask. Yes, between a pot liquor and a pot sticker and a dumpling
and a gyoza. Okay, you got a dumpling, a pot sticker, and a gyoza. I think they're all the same thing. Aren't they interchangeable?
Well, I mean, what's really the difference between a roti, a burrito, and like
a wrap.
I'm trying to think, and a wrap,
and a Caesar
exactly.
wrap. Yeah.
Every culture has its own gyoza. Every culture has its own dumpling.
So is a pot sticker? I mean, I've had an amazing back home in my hometown. There's this chef's table. They have these turkey pot stickers that forget the turkey side. The pot sticker itself, there was a dip, like this almost. Like a soy sauce ponzu dip it was delicious. I think about it all the time. It's a great pot sticker. There was a huge nostalgia bomb from high school when she said you should have done a pot sticker. But then I was thinking, what's the difference between a pot sticker and a dumpling and a gyoza? And I guess a pot sticker is dry. All the good stuff is in there and it's not in this like soup.
No, gyoza is outside of soup.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, dumpling is... I mean, truly every culture has its dumpling.
So my thing is here, I feel like the dishes that were hot in the heat did not play well. And that is a strategy.
For Eric.
Correct. Eric's beer-battered fried walleye, that was a escovitch was an excellent dish. But mostly I felt like... if you went with something hot, it didn't go very well. Kelsey went with cold, which was her winning attribute for her dish was that, Tom Kaluga was like, it was cold, which I loved, which is interesting. I mean, this is where we're at here is that like, if you serve a really cold dish on an 100-degree house party boat, you're going to win.
Well, also, it's very interesting. Twice in 3 weeks, an oyster with a nice mignonette wins the entire competition.
This is top crudo. It continues to be top crudo.
Is this Top Chef or is it Top Oyster? And the pickled watermelon rind was a very nice touch, I thought. Justin got high marks for his watermelon salad with the tequila marinated shrimp and basil croutons. Sarah goes with I was sort of worried for her. It's kind of a shrimp roll and a brioche with tarragon, parsley, Trinity spices. But they loved it. Mm-hmm. And ironically, Adrienne, though she was ill, probably had their favorite, really probably the only dish that they really loved for the team trivia.
Team Blue, Blue though.
Grilled salmon tacos, chipotle,
2 cilantro dishes. Kevin.
Yeah, I know.
Brian had cilantro, a cilantro leaf, which you know what?
That's
I appreciate.
easy.
Yeah. I appreciate when you dump the leaf on top. That's an easy removal. It's just when you dice it up and then it becomes part of the salsa verde or the sauce that you do. If Adrienne had a little bit of cilantro in her dish, that was kind of like a smorgasbord on a little patty there. But the judges loved it.
Yeah. Michelle got dinged just because hers wasn't hot. I think Eddie's, whose dish was not well liked, first time he's really done a clunker, I think, in a while.
Yeah.
I think he finished on the bottom of a quick fire at some point, but like his poached shrimp with wrapped in prosciutto with herb aioli was not a favorite.
I actually kind of, when he did it, I was like, yeah, I want that.
Well, exactly. But I wonder to what extent, because they really didn't like it. The fact that he had brought Adrian's dish, which was very good across the finish line, may have not saved him, but kept him out of the conversation for elimination. They didn't really declare who. They didn't do that, all right, you two step off to the side, you're safe thing. They just kind of lined them all up. And Brian went home for his porchetta, whose loin sort of fell out of its, not casing, whatever that is. But I feel terrible for Brian because I've got to assume he does one hell of a porchetta in proper conditions. And it wasn't a matter of overthinking it. He just did it. But again, it was interesting to listen to the chefs. Justin pulls no punches. He's riding around in that Beamer just, dishing.
Mm-hmm. He's going to overthink it. Yep.
He's going to overthink it. Eddie will be stressed out, which he was. But I knew you'd love this episode to the extent that I didn't like it. Because you're Mr. Fun, and I don't like to have any fun. And I'm looking forward to an episode where we just get back to, like the nice previews for next week where they're going up into a nice dining room, each bringing out their dish to white tablecloth. I'm looking forward to fine dining again. I don't want any jiggle. I don't want nothing jiggling. No jiggle.
Give me the jiggle juice. Give me the jiggle juice. The thing about shots, like Jello shots, and I found it interesting. I noticed that they can't say Jello on the show.
Can I make a confession to you, Tom?
You've never had a Jello shot. That's not. I know. That's a zero surprise.
I'm like somebody who grew up Amish or something.
So the whole point of a Jello shot is that it just goes straight down. It's not a liquid, so you don't have to swish it around your mouth. It just goes straight down.
But then what's the point? Don't you want to enjoy if I'm gonna drink a nice bottle of wine and get buzzed, it's because the wine's delicious. I'm not into the drunkenness. I'm into the, I don't know, man. That's why
I'm
a little precious.
An elevated Jello shot is so funny because the whole point of a Jello shot is just not to taste it; just goes straight down. And when Padma is just grinding up her, that's just not. It's not how it works. But you know what?
Yeah, I'm on Team Padma.
You're Team Padma on that. One thing I wanted to point out, Kevin, and there were so many just adorable moments in this episode about the theater kids versus the frat guys or the jocks. And it was this moment that was just so amazing to me was when David and Tom Colicchio realized that they frequented the same Portuguese club back home. Do you remember that little scene there?
Get out, he says.
But do you remember what he said get out to?
What, that he used to steal sardines off the
grill?
Off the grill. How do you steal a sardine off a grill? I mean, someone's going to see that.
Tom Colicchio was like, oh yeah, you want to know what we did in high school for the big parties in the summer? You know what we did? We used to steal the sardines off the grill. What? It's not like we used to swipe the tequila out of the fridge or we used to take the golf carts for a joyride. It wasn't that. It was we stole sardines off the grill. That's the kind of childhood that Tom Colicchio had in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Well, it's Elizabeth, New Jersey. By the way, I'm on the Portuguese Social Club's website that is actually in Portuguese, and I cannot find the English translation site.
Is it Brazilian Portuguese? Maybe I could help you.
No. It's Portuguese. I mean, the northeastern United States, you look at especially Fall River, Mass, I think. I mean, there's communities that have huge Portuguese populations.
Do you think David?
As a good Portuguese neighborhood is Toronto, Canada.
Oh, hey,
it's a great Portuguese neighborhood.
So Portuguese Instructive Social Club. They apparently used to grill sardines, and Tom, the devilish little rascal Tom in high school, he used to go in there, and while the chef wasn't looking, he used to just swipe those sardines. What a rascal!
Hey. I mean, but at any rate, I'm actually looking. I'm on their Instagram page now. There are a lot of people having a lot of fun at mini functions at the Portuguese Elizabeth, New Jersey. At some point this needs to be a conversation. We need to learn more about the Portuguese club here. They have Zumba classes. They definitely have Zumba classes.
That is not a surprise. I'm sure there's a hot yoga class at night. I'm sure there's something like that. Hey, Kevin.
Yes.
Were you scared for Eric in this episode? getting drunk and admitting he doesn't know how to swim and then going into a lake with the loosely tied life preserver. I was terrified.
I was a little nervous. I have to say, I did see that. He had that little orange little donut life preserver, but it seemed like they got him to the raft immediately. I will say, though I'm not a houseboat, man-made lake in the interior South kind of person, I do like to lie on a raft when they have those little cup holders. I like those little.
See, I knew there was a frat guy in you. You know, just sitting back with a.
You know what's nice though?
Cocktail.
If there was I like when there's a golden retriever swimming around in a lake like that. That I can deal with. I love the swimming golden retriever is kind of my.
I just got so nervous. Like, of all things to like go swimming for the first time. Well, maybe it's not the first time he's gone swimming. It's just he didn't know how to swim. He didn't even tie. I feel like he didn't even tie the life preserver around. Like, I don't think it was secure. And then he had a bunch of the jiggle juice and he jumps in. It looked like a lot of fun. But man, this was. You know, we didn't have a guest for this episode, and I feel like we did need to talk this one through because it was very much what I love about you is how we're so different, but yet this is just exactly what encapsulates our friendship here. So the ability to understand your strengths and weaknesses in this episode versus mine, I felt like it was just.
I have never had more of a rooting interest in a competition episode than rooting for the blue team. Like
team
trivia.
Team trivia versus.
Because I was the literary magazine kid. I was that kid, man. But Tom, how did the scoring look? It's nip and tuck, ain't it?
Yeah. So right now it is a close race, but I feel like I've had my bench. You've been playing your bench unit all game long. You said it in an email that the score kind of feels like the third quarter of a good NBA game. Right now, it's 92 Team Kevin, 87 Team Tom. Ooh. So it's a 5-point deficit. You have you have 5 chefs still alive, I believe. You have 5 left: Eddie, Eric, Michelle, Sarah, David. I have only 3: Justin, Kelsey, and Adrian. To which I ask you, Kevin, is there anyone on my team that it's NBA trade deadline coming up in a couple of weeks? Is there anyone you're eyeing as we go into week 9 of Top Chef?
I mean, I like your 3 remaining chefs a lot. Part of my ambivalence is just that I think it's a wide open field this year. I mean, who's the how easily can you answer the question, who are the next 3 chefs eliminated?
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It's tough right now. I mean, maybe Sarah bounces back.
Yeah, I worry about Sarah's food right now. And I don't see that with any, again, I was going to buy her jersey. So, I'm all about it.
You still are.
I'm a huge Sarah fan. I worry about her food. Kelsey is a contestant I just really like because I think she's, she can guard several positions, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Like what I really like about Kelsey is she understands context of challenges. She's the kind of the anti-brother in that respect.
Yes.
But she knows how, she kind of has an intuition to look at a challenge, not only know what the culinary challenge is, just what she's got to do in the kitchen, but, we're doing canapes. Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to do this lovely little presented bite of a scallop crudo, right? We're doing a party. I know exactly how to make this happen. We're having trouble with the front of the house. I know how to kind of ameliorate the issues. So what I really like about Kelsey is she's sort of, I don't remember a chef in recent seasons that has a better feel for, hey, this isn't just a cooking show. Context matters in each challenge, and you sort of have to, and you can pick up points on the margins just by knowing what the shot is.
And you know what she did though, like that really embodies what you just talked about? The little chips that she had.
We didn't even talk about the little puppy chow.
The puppy chow is such a Kelsey move. I know parties. This is exactly the munchies that people want on a party boat, right? The key lime little cereal bites.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. She is kind of the, and actually, I don't remember a contestant in recent seasons who's a better gay male icon than Kelsey. I mean, she truly. I mean, it's like in the little cute little green tie to match the team color in the paper sack. We didn't. I can't even believe we didn't talk about that. Thank you.
We did talk about it. We
just
just
talked about
did.
it.
We just did. I mean, doesn't that look like if you were doing your get baked and sit around and play trivia? Is there anything?
That's the irony. Is if you put her on the docile team and said we're doing kind of a Dungeons and Dragons night. It's hey everybody. The challenge is you're feeding 100 people at the fucking Scrabble tournament. Like she'd figure out how to make it a party.
Yes. Right.
Even though like your contestants are a bunch of librarians. Like it doesn't matter. I mean, she is very versatile. Exactly. Like she would have actually, had she been traded to the blue team, she would have figured out even with the same composition how to make that a more fun party, and it would have been a different tactic. They wouldn't have done Jello shots. They would have done something else. So that's where I'm very pro Kelsey. Is she's making good food, really good food. She's starting to finish on the top, and she just understands context.
Yeah, and I think she's also really good at editing. She's the anti-Kitsuji, where she does simple dishes, but they're very compact and edited very well. And I think
she's a pragmatist. She's definitely a pragmatist.
She's not going to overthink it. And that dish, by the way, really spoke to me. Like I love a really fresh horseradish. Like if I'm going to have, I don't do cocktail sauce with my oysters. I just like a horseradish with some mignonette. I like the acid and I love the horseradish spice. And when she's putting in the hot sauce, the Cholula, and then she's got the horseradish in there, and she can almost passes out because it's too spicy. Like that is the dish that I want on a houseboat, is those oysters. So she nailed this out of the park. Justin, still a big fan. Adrian, it was her flu game.
Her flu game, absolutely.
Her flu game, she did a great job, and kudos to Eddie for reaching across the aisle from Team Kevin and Team Tom and helping out Adrian. I appreciate that, Eddie. We have a really strong competition. I still think Eddie is by far the favorite in this. You said I don't know who's gonna go home. I think I know who's gonna win, and it's Eddie Conrad. So I think he's still the front runner here. He has 28 points in our scoring system. The next highest is Kelsey, 24. And that feels about right, that he and Kelsey are right now the favorites.
Well, Eric is also at 24, and I got a hunch about him. I just think there's a lot of mistakes. You notice how there's not a 0 in his his row there, in his little box score? He's just, again, I don't know that he has cooked a below median dish in any competition, and I've said this several weeks in a row now. Like he might not win every competition, but he's finishing in the upper 50%, and he has been week in and week out the most consistent chef, and he's hanging around. Actually, no, hanging around is an insult. He's more than hanging around. Michelle's hanging around. And we get back to pasta and some hot food without limitations. I think Michelle is a really good chef. I just worry that every third or fourth week the elimination challenge doesn't suit her.
So if I offer you, I'm not saying I am. If I offered you Kelsey for Michelle,
I'd do that.
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
I'd do that.
Yeah, because she is a buy low candidate at this point, Michelle. I feel like. I think
she's
lurking.
good.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think she could come out next week in a formal setting and win next week. I think she could do a freaking saffron pasta with some fantastic accompaniment and just completely blow it out. Like I think she's an exceptional chef. I think she is not as flexible in terms of conditions. Like I worry about her when they throw them in the wilderness, or you're going to cook on the savannah amongst live predators and you have 10 minutes. Like that's what I worry about with Michelle. I don't worry. You have 4 hours to prepare a meal for like 8 people, 4 of them whom are Michelin star chefs. I don't worry about her. I worry about her on a houseboat. I worry about her in situations that confine the chefs to certain limitations.
All right, next episode, they go to Nashville. Any scouting report on Nashville from you, Kevin?
Well, it was just, by the way, I haven't been to Nashville in years, and I understand that there is so much good stuff going on. Obviously, the home of hot chicken. I have to say, I was very sad that Brian couldn't have lasted one more week, because that is his hometown.
You're right.
That is his hometown. I really felt for him. That would have been like my getting eliminated before Atlanta or something.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me about that, but man, that's so true. That's a heartbreaker.
That's a heartbreaker. It really is. Can we talk Last Chance for a second?
Absolutely.
Brandon, private chef. It makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. Yes.
Because that's what he's doing every day. You're not doing a lot of team. You go into a refrigerator, you prepare a single plate for a single person. Like that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling we might. Brother 2.0, I'm telling you right now. And by the way, was really happy. By the way, I was happy for both Brian and Brandon. They both made delicious pig ear, pigtail, pig extremity kind of dishes. And both looked delicious, by the way. Tom looked as happy as he's looked all season.
Oh, yeah, he loved it. And you know what? I love a good pig ear. Michael's was the first pig ear I ever had. Michael's Genuine in Miami, and it took my heart. It was
the first place I ever had it too. I don't remember them really being on menus before then.
When I went down to Miami a couple months ago with my wife, that was the first place. We both had cravings. We were like, where do we want to go? Let's go hit the happy hour at Michael's Genuine and just crunch on some crispy pig ears with the little hominy, the little spice, it's almost, they give you the lime, and it's the perfect little addition.
I love that. Oh, that little
squeeze the lime on the crispy pig ears. I remember when we hosted a bunch of people for the finals. It must have been like 12 people, Kevin. We must have ordered like 7 of those things for the table.
Yeah. Now, I haven't been since that night. You always want to check out the new places in a city. But one of my favorite things is just to know the places that I don't care if they've been in business 20 years. Like Luke is that place for me in Los Angeles. Suzanne Goyen's Luke. Like, it was the hot restaurant in 1998. And then, now you can pretty much get a table most nights, even a Friday or Saturday. You can get a table, but it's still one of the best meals. Is Michael's every bit as good, even though all this new food is opened up? Is it still great?
Oh yeah. And it's just a great vibe. They have a great cocktail menu, a great bar. It's a really, and the design district itself is really blown up.
Well, that's what's funny, right? When it opened, there was nothing over there, and now it's actually probably, I'm assuming, it's kind of in terms of gravity, the culinary center of Miami, probably.
Yes. It was a really good meal, a really strong meal. And you know what? It's kind of nice to have those standbys, because Miami is such a transient. It's such the turnover in Miami is so rapid. It's really nice to have a place like Michael's Genuine. And apparently he just opened up a new restaurant right there on the water in Miami, and I got to go check it out.
Yeah, would love, as Tom, you and I were talking pregame, one of my favorite things about the NBA playoffs, besides the quality of the basketball and getting to cover these series and be right in the middle of them, is you get off nights and you eat. So spring is my favorite, and whatever city you get assigned to kind of obviously governs that. And I'm most likely going to be in Toronto, which is just one of the great food cities in the world. But there's always the question of the matchup, and I might be seeing you in Charlotte. I might be going to Brooklyn. And I might very well be in Miami as well, in which case that would not be the worst thing in the world. So, and I might be in Detroit. Who knows? But yeah, I will be hitting you up for Miami pointers if that happens, because it's been a while. And would be very eager to check out kind of what's been going on there.
Well, Kevin, this was. I'm very happy for Team Green. I feel like I'm an honorary member of Team Green. So I know Team Blue didn't win, but I still feel like you're Team Blue on this. Even
Tom, will you come play trivia with me at some place? If you come to Los Angeles, can we do trivia? Can we host a trivia party here?
Yeah, I would. Nothing would delight me more, as long as you have some jiggle juice.
You can take care. You know what I have? I have xanthan gum, which can help with the jiggle juice.
We'll invite Brandon. I mean, he's probably in California somewhere.
Atherton is not far.
That's right.
All right, sir. For Tom Haberstroh, this is Kevin Arnovitz, and this is Pack Your Nines.
Honestly, I just want to thank everyone that's been sending me so many messages. I have received hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages. I can't keep track of everyone, but I just want to thank everyone that has taken the time out to send me something sweet while I'm going through my cancer treatment. And I just want to say that it has meant so much to me to know that I have so many supporters out there. And hopefully it translates to fan favorite. Which voting should happen in February. Just putting it out there.
Now that is the plug that we were looking for. I want to be the fan favorite.